First up, George Lucas. What a guy. Look, foremost, what a guy, But a recent interview that he did with Conan has surfaced online, but it's not actually recently. It's just recently come up on the internet and to our knowledge. But this interview was back in 2007. But it's only just come to us and like just out of nowhere. No, nothing, no preamble, just randomly out of nowhere. Oh, George Lucas did this fantastically jovial interview. And then we went ahead and watched it for you. And it's a good time. It's always a good time to see George, and he was in his prime. So back in 2007, Clone Wars was just, it's about to begin and lift off, and the movie, this Clone Wars movie had come out, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it came out in 2008.
Actually, maybe it's 2008.
So it was like just about to
but it's all out. It was all happening. It was all happening for George Lucas. 2008. Thank you. Yes. And so, he was in his prime here.
August 10th, 2008.
Boom. There you go. But this interview with George Lucas was really interesting because he started talking about a little bit of the origins of Star Wars and how it's been, such a long time. And at the point of this interview, it was been 30 years since it had come out. Yeah. No, wrong. Wait, 30 years? No, yes, 30 years. I'm right.
About, more or less.
Yeah. There you go.
We'll let George worry about the specifics.
That's true. That's so true. And they were reminiscing on the creation of Star Wars and what that means, and how successful it had been. And they started talking about the origins of its name. Now, if you don't know the story, it goes that it wasn't always actually called Star Wars. It was called, it was first titled Star Killer Base, which was great.
It's funny because it was almost called Star Killer Base, and then you have Star Killer from the game, and then you have Star Killer Base, the actual thing, and it's like Star Wars was determined to use this name somehow.
Right? They just like gun ho about it. They were really into it. They were like Star Killer. They were determined. And the interesting thing that we thought about watching this video of George talk about it and how titling it Star Wars, the big companies and the big projects actually didn't like it, because, and he made a joke because everyone thought it was going to be about like two celebrities or like celebrities battling it out for like stardom. And I'm like, that's brilliant. I actually kind of want that Star Wars. Like I would love to see that in like a modern day time. Yes. See like a Chris Evans versus like a, I don't know, like a
Chris's.
Yes. Yeah. Like a Battle of the Chris's. Exactly. Come on. That's a Star Wars. Come on. I feel like that would be called a Star War though. I like the plural. But anyway, so this fantastic conversation that they had got us thinking, what would we name Star Wars if it wasn't going to be called Star Wars? So, Jordan, we've got a couple of names here, potential titles.
Love them all.
that us and the Star Wars culture team have come up with, and so various members of our team worked together, and we thought this is what it could have been called.
Yeah.
What's the first one we've got?
The first one is it's two Skywalkers and a Solo. I love it because it's like very straightforward. It's like, here's the three people who are going to be in the movie: two Skywalkers and a Solo, and it's about them.
Right.
And that was amazing. Right. Then you have Death to Vader, another straightforward type of
Death to Vader. I really liked that one. I feel like it's maybe like the Death to Vader or something. But then it's like, because everyone's going to be thinking like, oh, who's Vader? Like there's all those questions. Yeah. No, the next one is also Star of Death, which could have actually worked too. That kind of
so
rolls.
Intense.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. I don't know what everyone's first impressions of that would have been, but that would have been something else. Yeah, Star of Death.
Right.
It's intense. No, I get you. If you got any potential suggestions for names that Star Wars could have been, be sure to drop it in the comments below, and we'll try and get to them.
We're on the side of the chat. Who I ain't no telling where it is on YouTube. The format changes every 12 days.
The live chat part. Yeah. So what else we got? We got the Princess and the Farm Boy. I kind of on board. I feel like that would have actually worked quite well because that was like the charm of the first, A New Hope.
Yeah.
The charm of A New Hope. There you go, right behind me. It was really, about a farm boy, a simple farm boy, and a princess, and maybe a scoundrel as well. Maybe they could have, the princess, the farm boy, and the
Princess, the
scoundrel.
farm boy, and the scoundrel. Yeah.
I feel like
that sounds
a
like a
title
rom-com.
somewhere. I feel like, yeah, actually, that's true. Well, it is a bit of an awkward love triangle that they've got going on there for a while.
True.
So, oh, that's so good. But yeah, George Lucas. Just before we move on, his interview. I haven't watched a George Lucas interview in a very long time until this video came up. He's so wholesome. He's just so chill, and he just carried himself so well through the whole interview. And it's like with Star Wars. I mean, obviously he's not a part of it now, but everyone had their opinions of Star Wars and like to share it. Surely you feel like you would be a bit more stressed of a person, but he was just like, I created it, so it's fine.
Right.
It's just he was so chill. Do you miss George Lucas, Jordan?
I do miss George. I was watching the season 2 making of Mandalorian Disney Gallery on Disney Plus, and he was in it, and I was like, this is like watching one of the original trilogy or prequel trilogy documentaries all over again. It was great to see him, and standing next to Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka laughing, and it was just
that was magical.
I don't know. I don't know if you watched the show iCarly, but there's a new meme of Miranda Cosgrove who plays Carly, and she's like holding a soda in front of the computer. She's like, interesting, and she's amused. And then there's, she took the original photo back in like the early 2000s when she was a little girl, and that's how I felt. The little girl watching his documentaries about these movies, and then in 2021, as I'm 26 years old, doing the same thing, and he's in a Mandalorian documentary laughing next to Ahsoka Tano. And
it's just mind-boggling. Hey, yeah,
right.
That is such a good point. It's like we've literally just feel like we've grown up with him, and especially because I guess we're technically prequel aged fans because it's that was coming out while we were children, child.
I was 10.
So it's yeah. So it was our prime, time to be in stuff, and then to grow up and go through Clone Wars, and then through sequel, even though that changed hands by then. But it's literally to grow up knowing this human created this thing that was so big to us is is really important. He's such a nice guy. I want to talk to him. I want to give George Lucas a hug. That's what I want to do. That's my one life goal.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
What have we got going in the chat? The perfect stormtroopers.
The perfect.
I mean, I guess. Oh, this is hilarious. Luke Skywalker and the Deathly Starly Hallows. That's fantastic. Yeah. A nice little crossover.
You could have also said Luke Skywalker and the Deathly Holograms.
Oh, I like it. Deathly Holograms. That would have worked. I like that. That's so good. Well, keep dropping those comments, but we're going to move on to the next thing.